Hello, farmers. Trevor here, and I am back for another episode on Grizzly Mountain, the lazy farmer. We are sitting here at our third field that we made on Harbor Island, and we have grass that's grown around the outside of it, and we have a golden field of oats. In addition to that, I don't think we can see it from here very well. But over there, our other second field, the one that's near the sawmill and the shop, that one's ready to go as far as the wheat is concerned. But first, what I wanted to do is come out here and, if you guys remember, we planted grass. So what has been happening is, like, this area right here is painted, and it is not growing grass. Now, if we look at the map, it's a little, let's see if we can zoom in. It's a little bit hard to tell, but, I don't think there's actually grass there. So, same thing here. Like, this is not showing up as grass. This is grass here. This isn't. All this orange is grass that's grown fully. So this was plowed over here, and then I just went immediately back over with the remove the field thing, and we didn't get a grass border that actually grows. So what I'm curious about here is, we have this grass border. If we go to there you go, you can kind of tell, maybe you can tell, the grass border there is at least grown to the yellow stage, the first harvest stage. That's this right here. So what I want to do now is try to remove the field with this tool. And maybe we'll back. I want to make a nice straight edge here. So even though this is grass, next time we plow it, it should still be in the field. Now this is, I'm going to try to remember this, but this is just grass that's grown once. So if we roll over it at this point, let's put this thing down. Drive forward and see what happens. So now you can see it's kind of killing the grass, but it should also be getting rid of the field as well. Is it getting rid of the field? Yes. Oops, we're going to go on the drink. No, because we're going to stop before we get the drink. So what we're going to do, most exciting way possible for YouTube. Whoa, like that. See that? That was excitement. So we're killing the grass. Now let's go look at the map when we get done this. Miss a spot there. That was just grass optics. Oop, oop, oop. All right, so let's hit escape again. Yep. Now look, it appears harvested, but it appears. Oops, not that. It appears as grass. So it shouldn't be part of the field anymore, which is a little bit hard to tell because of the way this map is. But I believe that because we let this grass grow, we are actually going to get grass. Now this field is not going to be. See, this is all painted right there anyway. A lot of it is. So what I want to do is, without ruining too much of our crop, just kind of follow the outline. Follow the outline of the field there. It would be helpful if I waited a little bit longer. So this should give us a nice grass border that actually grows, is my belief. And it makes sense just looking at that's actually a straight edge, isn't it? We may not have the straightest edge. And well, we're just going to have to deal with that. Let's see if I can. There you go. Can't see. We need to switch tractors. Back up a little bit. up a little bit. So I'll have to go around this again. But there you go. So that's the first part. Now, I don't think it's exciting enough to show you guys me harvesting these fields. I'm not going to end up plowing this, so it might be a little bit of a mess on the edge of the fields because I'm not plowing them. Can we squeeze past that tree? That's what we're going to. That's well done. Can't see. So there we go. We've outlined this field with what I believe is growing grass, as I said. So let me hop out. I'll finish up cleaning up, those spots that I missed over there. And then, like I said, I don't think I'm going to do anything too exciting. I don't think I'm going to use course play or anything like that. Actually, I might, but I might just use the course play on the harvester guy. And then I'll chase him with our loading wagon and I guess the tractor trailer. We don't really have a loading wagon for the tractors, do we? I'm not the biggest fan of using tractor trailer for... Oh, no, you know what? We have this guy, huh? Yeah, no, we will go. We'll use the tractor with this. I'm not a huge fan of using this Well, this tractor trailer actually is made to go on the... this is an agricultural one, so maybe that's not so true. But when you get the regular tractor trailers, I mean, unless you just really aren't going to use them in fields that much. Not unless your fields really got the right soil conditions, because you're just going to go in. There's a reason these farm equipment has extra wheels more than you'd actually need, and big wide wheels. It's so you don't go right into the earth. And trying to take a regular tractor trailer on that would be tough. So, all right. Well, let me get the fields harvested, which will take me a little while, and then, if something exciting or noteworthy comes up while I'm doing the harvest, I will bring you guys back in. Like I said, I'll finish up going around here and getting rid of all that other excess field, I guess you could call it, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. In light of that, we bought some new equipment. And we bought the Rostel mash, and I know you can always mix up different headers, and we got this. One of the two reasons I bought this: one, it has a nice big corn header, 9 meters, and I like the ones that fold up like this because we can drive them on the road, no problem. Not that we have traffic here or narrow roads, but at the same time, I also bought this header. I mean, this is actually the main reason I bought this mower. It's not mower. Harvester, they call them, is because it has the wheels that automatically come under there. Putting them on the trailer, that's just not the lazy way to do it, where you pop this guy out and hit the X button, the wheels go away, and off you go, or come back out. So anyway, and it's really, we don't have massive fields, and a 9-meter header, and is probably good enough. And again, we get a nice big corn header as well. So another thing we bought is a Fendt forage wagon. Again, not the biggest one you can get, but I think a decent size for the smaller tractor that we have. It'll be able to hold 42,000 liters. And not that I know what a liter is, but you get the idea. And we should be able to pick up our grass, which is the next thing that we can work on. Here, I'll show you on the map. We have the grass at the first growth stage here. So, would we want to let it wait till the orange stage? Would there be a benefit? In Farming Simulator 17, yes. If you waited, you got a good amount more. I mean, I think it's up to like 50% more which works out to that we'll get like 66% of what we would have gotten. But I don't really care. This is going to be plenty of grass to get us started. And what I'm thinking of doing is we cut this for grass this time, and then that way it'll grow again, hopefully by sometime tomorrow in game, and we'll be able to do some hay. So this, I don't know if you guys watched the last episode, but this field seems to have caught up to this field as far as being green. And if we come back over to here, you can see we're in good shape. We don't have any weeds or anything like that on the field, so because we sprayed them. So these guys should, change by tomorrow morning. They should be ready to harvest, I hope. I'll sleep through the night. Generally speaking, I sleep through the night just for realism's sake. If you look, we spent a lot of our money. I think we were over $1 million. Now we're down to 400,000, but down to. Don't you wish you had 400,000? Well, maybe you do, and I feel good for you if that's your lot in life. In any event, here's a tedder. Not overly expensive, but it is the biggest tedder. Why not? It's not that big, And we got a windrow over there. I think you can see it, which will be necessary for gathering. And we got the Pottinger butterfly mowers and the regular front mower. And this is generally my favorite setup. Now, what I want to do with this is I already came down and got our course play set up and going. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh, I had an uncontrollable sneeze coming on me in there. Okay, well, anyway. So we got this going. I already adjusted the width and set it to our east-west course. And I'm going to go back. Now, what I would like to do here is I'll turn everything on, which would be, I just want to go, let's go on our course pretty straight, as long as we don't miss anything. What I'm going to do, let me back up a step, just like to make sure I start it off in the field. If I start it, I mean this. What I want to do is just record what I cut. If it goes well, like if I think it'll work well for an actual course play course, that way, what I want to do is set up this grass field to be all set up for course play, like where I can just send workers out there. So the first step of that would be to go ahead and get, a course for this. Now, a lot of times on a field, I'm not going to do that, but because we have that rock in the middle of this one, I know, course play will be stupid about that rock one way or the other. So rather than worry about, like having a course, you got to stop it and all that, we're going to see if we can't cut this in a logical way and have our course play course do the thing for us. So I hope that made sense. I hope that was actually English. Okay, here we go. So let's start the course recording. And then I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this just so that I don't have to see them the whole time. And then come back here. All right, so we're doing our course recording, so I'm just going to close that down so again it doesn't annoy me. And let's hit B. Go cut some grass. So I'll see those dots as far as that goes, but yeah. So I think I'm gonna, just for the sake of the length of the video, I'm gonna cut here and I'll just go through and keep cutting. I'll zoom in a little bit, and I will be back when I'm ready for the next step, which will be to set up the windrower. Alright guys, I got this course recorded. I saved it as F1 cut 8 meters, which is about right. I'm not going to get into the decimal points for sure. I probably could even create another folder. So if you come up here, you'll see it's relatively intuitive. So we're going to do F4. And we'll make a file for each field. So I'll come down here, and then I'll hit this button, move to folder, and then it's kind of asking me which folder. Move to the F4 folder. So there we go. And that's just a nice way of keeping it organized by the field. And you can even, if I'm remembering right, you can even do subfolders if necessary. But in any event, so we have this F1, which is what we'll be working with. And if we come here and look, you know, it's not perfect. Would I redo it? Maybe. You could say I missed a spot here, like just when I went and made the turn. So, you know, you could probably do 2 circles around there to avoid that, or, you know, also down in that other corner by the pond, or by the river, I kind of messed up. But you can see the big thing I did was go around this, you know, which is nice. In any event, that's a lot going on the screen, I'm sure. So, you know, you definitely could set the guy on it. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty good. You know, if I wanted to send the guy out there and not have to do it myself and not have him run into that rock each time. So I'm just going to, let's go and park this stuff. I think I tried to get that tedder. Tried to get that way over so we could maybe park 2 things in this bay. There we go. And we'll get our windrower out here in a second. And we will do another course for the windrower, which will lead us into the same course. Sorry guys, I'm focused. Like a ninja warrior. You need to focus on these things. And if you believe that, I mean, I do really need to focus. That thing's kind of in the way for seeing, isn't it? Did I miss it? Yep, so I can't see. There we go. Get this guy unfolding. Now, just always remember to save your course. That's the key. Now I'm going to hit Alt-R. I want to take a look at something. Control-S. 12.8 when it was unfolding, right? So let me just hit Alt-R again. 14.7. I noticed that the other day. So if it's folded up completely, you'll get the here, let me even show you. So we got 14.7, and let me here we'll hit not V, X. I'm gonna hit Alt R again while it's in the middle of it, right? Here we go. So you can see it got smaller. Maybe you didn't catch that, but if we come here, look, 8.83. Now the thing's all the way folded up. Right here, let's get this out of the way. First of all, we can get rid of that course because we already saved it. And close that. So now, so we just saw that it was 8 point something. I'll hit Alt-R again, and it gets wider, and I'll hit Control-S. 9.8. So it isn't doing the max like I thought it would. So you really should unfold, at least this piece of equipment. The other ones came up right. I'm not sure why this one's saying 9. I wonder if I straighten it out just slightly, if we get a different number. Alt-R. No, so it's, you know, not doing what I had said maybe in a past video. Sorry about that. It seemed to be that you could just hit Alt-R. I know with the other pieces of equipment, maybe it's because they were not windrowers. You know, maybe there's something different about this. Make sure that guy's fully deployed. I'll even put him down, see if we notice a different number there. So Alt-R, Control-S, yeah, 14.42. So I would say definitely spread at least this windrower back out. Glad I noticed that. I'm sure I would have if it got all screwed up, but in any event. So I'm going to move this over. And we are going to do basically the same thing again and record a windrowing course. I wanted to note, or I thought about it when I was cutting the grass. I picked, if you've watched, my spraying video, I think that was the last video, you'll see that I definitely, very deliberately pick where I start and finish. And again, the longest straightest is often where I start, just because that's, going to do the most work in one row. If you have a short row, it'll be that far one down there, like, where you only have a little bit to go. But what I'm going to do with this course is go up and down, and then when we get done, I'll go all the way around the course and try to pick up whatever goofiness that I missed. So in other words, a lot of times like with the spraying course, I went around the outside first. This one I want to go around the outside last. So anyway, I think we can turn this bad boy on and we can get our course play recording. And yeah, well, here we go. And again, I'm going to close this thing. It's annoying. I might even just back out a little bit more without switching tractors, hopefully. And I think I cut it. These trees being close makes you be a little more precise. Not that we don't want to be precise when we're recording. Now, the one thing I don't want to do is I'd like to try to keep the turns reasonable. However, you also don't want to turn so tight that you throw the course play off. Like if you turn too fast and too tight, the tractor won't follow it, So as a general rule, I'd like to keep. See, if we do that turn as fast as we can, I was kind of like feathering the throttle, so to speak. We can lose this guy. Like he would, when he goes to do it, and when the AI goes to do it, it'll just like drive past the next point and start heading off into the water or whatever direction he's headed. So you want to kind of do things gently. All right, I think I want to, again, just for the sake of, I'd like to get all this course play stuff in this, so I'm going to cut it and do what I just told you I was going to do. I'll show you the end result. How's that sound? All right, guys. Much like the other one, we have completed going around. I'm not real happy with this. I would say I'm like 95% happy. I don't know if I would keep this as my permanent course, not because it didn't work out fine for the windrowing. It's just, sort of some duplicate action going on. So let's show you what I mean. Could I have done it better? I kind of think so. So you could say much like the old one here. Can I zoom out even more? I did a loop-de-loop around here, and it worked out pretty well. I think it'll pick all of it up. What I don't like about it is, and I'm not sure there's much I can do about it, it just has to do with the width of the field, but I ended up kind of, there's going to be like a wasted run as far as, if we just try to duplicate the windrow course for the forage wagon, then it's, he's going to run all the way up here on a blank row, and worse than that, or to compound that, he's going to come back down here. Where's she? Good point. He's coming down this road twice. So he's going back and forth across the field twice if we decide just to run him on the same course that the windrower ran. If we don't, then we kind of have to, just do it all ourselves. And then there's going to be, some goofy places like this where it, if we tried to do it, we might run into some other issues. So we'll see. You don't have to be married to it. We can do whatever we need to do. It's not like if I had to re-record it in a different way, I can't do that at some point. So I'm just going to leave this guy. I know. You know what? I'm going to bring him up here and put him in the shed since we're going up there already anyway. The next thing we need is to get the old new forage wagon out. nicely, even though we'll probably be using him again tomorrow. Now, when it comes to recording this course, what we need to do is we're just going to set them on the windrower course, but we need to set a secondary course if you've never used course play that he'll unload from. Now, when they are running around in the field and they're picking stuff up, you can append a course or whatever they call it, and what that'll do is that wherever they're at in the field, they'll head back over to this other course and run it as an offloading thing. So what you want to do is try to set up the start point for this other course where they won't run into stuff. Like, in other words, we're going to try it like starting it from right here, but if he ends in the wrong spot, he'll run into that rock, But if I do it too far over towards that road, if he ends near those trees, he might run into the trees. So you want to kind of try to pick a place that's least likely to cause issues. So anyway, we're going to come up here and come over to here and just close out that course because we want to start recording a new one. Doesn't matter which mode you're in for this. The mode only matters. And you want to go until you get a couple of those dots. You don't want to turn too quickly if you can help it. So I know that one day we're gonna have a cow thing right there, so I don't want to get into where the cows or the pigs would be. Hopefully, it's not a long course to record. I'm gonna try to swing in here, and then I like to go over this like kind of slowly just to make sure he doesn't miss it when he comes around. And then we can speed up again. The other thing is, remember, especially on the first part of this, he is going to be full, so you don't want to go too fast around turns because he could upset himself. Alright, we're going to just try to stop it right here. And then I'm going to hit save, and we're going to call this F1. Oop, that's exclamation. There we go. Forage. Save. Now, we should close this, come over here, and let's move this into this folder. Let's move this into this folder. So here's the windrow course. So I'm going to load that one back up. And then I'm going to just click on this folder here, and I'm going to load up the forage. Now that should bring them. Now the other thing I want to check is, where is it? I want to make sure that this return to first point is activated. And see what happens. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to close that out. Let's just redo that. While that's activated, I want to, just to make sure that there's not some chicken and the egg kind of problem. Alright, so let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least we tried, right? So let me get back so we can get this little bit going here. Turn this guy on so we pick that stuff up no matter what. And let's see what happens if we drive the course. I'm also going to get rid of all these too many lines. Back up a little bit. And let's turn this guy off. So we'll see if he actually goes and unloads stuff. If not, you get the idea. I know you can do it. I'm not sure if it's working in FS19 or not. Just because it's still under beta, so it may or may not work. I know it used to work in Farm Sim 17. You know what? I'm thinking about something. Is this... I have it on field work. I don't think I want it on field work, do I? This is almost like low to harvester mode that I would want it in, huh? Well, we'll see what happens. See if he actually... Let's deactivate that one too, because that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I don't want him stopping at the next trigger. I want him to keep going. Here we go, guys. Either way, whether this works out or not, we have grass, which means we can pretty much get sheep when we want to. And that's kind of a, I would say a long time coming, but I've cut a lot of trees down to get to this point, you know? And I know we could have probably jumped right ahead and got grass on the make, but, you know, at the same time, it feels good. There we go. So nope, he just stops. All right, so we're going to stop him. We're going to do one more little experiment, because I'm thinking... maybe we don't want this in the field work category. Maybe he needs to act more like a combine would, you know? So we may switch it over to some kind of other course, just see if that works. We can just pick up where we left off anyway. There we go. Now it's official. We have grass in the barn. Wonderful. And either way, we'll get some hay going tomorrow. And then we need to think about silage, don't we? So let's head out to wherever he was. Enough. I want to clear this out. Yeah, see, this is fertilizing and seeding. That doesn't make sense. If we did grain transport. I don't know, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I mean, he is picking stuff up, right? No, he's not picking stuff up. Stop. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense. Empty combine and offload. How about we just do transfer? Ooh. Now, see, and again, he's not lowering his thing, you know? I just missed a little bit there, but... oh, see, he picked up the wrong one. That's all right. Well, it is kind of a pain that he went the wrong way, huh? Oh, you know what? I wonder if the loop-de-loo there is a big problem, because he shouldn't have done that, because he definitely should have picked up that other... yeah, I don't think my loop-de-loo was a good idea either, was it? Alright, well, you know what? This is failing enough that sometimes in life, you know, it's probably more important to know when to call it quits, in the sense of, let's go back to get rid of that, we'll work it out as we, you know, as we have a chance, but I think that I need to re-record that, so maybe when we do the hay, because I think that's going to do that each time where it goes off in the wrong direction. And in the meantime, it's not that big a deal for us to just pick it up by hand. I like the field work anyway. This was, you know, as much to make an interesting video, and I think sometimes in life, knowing what not to do is as important as knowing what to do, right? Maybe that doesn't make the best YouTube tutorials, but this isn't exactly a YouTube tutorial series anyhow. So, all right. Well, anyway, I think I'll probably end the video here, just putting the grass in there where we need to, and then we'll when we come back, we'll probably be harvesting those other fields. I'll probably sleep through the night, and we have grass. What else can I say? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, and pretty soon, before we know it, we'll have some animals. So have a good day. Bye-bye.